Shares of Bloom Energy are up almost 290% so far this year. And a big reason for that is the fact that artificial intelligence data centers need as much energy as they possibly can get, and they need it to be deployed as quickly as possible. What companies can do that? Well, Bloom Energy is one of those companies. So is this still a great artificial intelligence play today? That's what I'm going to dig into, and let's start with exactly what Bloom Energy does. Bloom Energy makes fuel cells, and the fuel cells that they make can run on multiple different energy sources: hydrogen, natural gas, biofuels. So it's a very flexible type of fuel cell. In fact, it's so flexible that it can be run in reverse. You can put electricity and water into these fuel cells and run it backwards and actually create hydrogen. This is called an electrolyzer. And the flexibility of these fuel cells and the rapid deployment ability has given Bloom Energy a lot of momentum in the market. Investors think that that momentum is going to continue in the future. Now, there are a number of reasons to think that Bloom Energy is going to be one of the beneficiaries. One of the reasons the company's technology is valuable for AI today is these fuel cells can be sited very close to the demand source. So instead of building miles and miles, potentially thousands of miles of transmission lines, the distance that electricity needs to travel between the fuel cell and the point of demand can be reduced dramatically. Fuel cells can also be deployed in a matter of months rather than years. When you're talking about building a nuclear energy power plant, a lot of nuclear stocks have been on phenomenal runs so far this year, but it's going to take years, if not decades, to build out most of those nuclear power plants. With a microgrid controller, fuel cells can also be more efficient in operating both data centers and the grid at large. And these advantages in the market have allowed Bloom Energy to improve rapidly from an operating perspective. You can see that in 2025, they're expecting $1.65 to $1.85 billion in revenue and are expecting to be operating income positive. In fact, in the past 12 months, the company has generated positive net income. That has not always been the case. So this is a much more sustainable business than it has ever been. And the momentum Bloom Energy is bringing to the market should continue because electricity prices are rising, even though fuel costs are falling. So the effective arbitrage that Bloom Energy is going to have in the market, being able to sell electricity for a relatively high price to things like these AI data centers and commercial buildings, and then have relatively low cost natural gas or even hydrogen coming in as an input, is going to make the company more profitable and make its customers more money as well. The challenge for Bloom Energy is going to be the high expectations the market is now putting on the stock. As I'm recording, the price to sales multiple is about 14 times, and the price to earnings multiple is approaching 1,000. That's because those earnings are not particularly high. But when you have a very high price to sales multiple, that means that there's a lot of growth already priced into the stock. So Bloom Energy has the right solution for artificial intelligence. The economics of the business are improving and are likely to get better in the future. But does that make this an AI winner for investors? I don't think it does today. Hydrogen typically goes through cycles. We have seen companies like Plug Power boom and bust over the years. This is one of those boom cycles for Bloom Energy. But if we have another bust the way we had in 2021 going into 2022, that could leave investors out in the cold. So I'm going to wait until the valuation is better for Bloom Energy and we know that this is going to be one of the winners in the AI revolution. I think there's tremendous potential to bring more hydrogen to the market, particularly because wind, solar, and fuel cells are going to be the most quickly deployable for AI data centers. And it's going to allow those data centers to operate more on an island than sucking energy off the grid, which is already becoming a problem with electricity costs. So it's a win for everybody involved. But that doesn't mean that overpaying for these companies that have this growth trajectory is a wise move long term. Now, let me know what you think about the future of hydrogen and the future of Bloom Energy. Leave those comments in the comment section below. And of course, check out fool.com/invest for our top 10 stocks to buy right now. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.